Hey y'all, this is Chula here. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, Hooked on Houseplants, where we love our houseplants, but we don't let them stress us out. So today, y'all, I am going to be showing you some updates, some good ones, as well as some not so great updates. I will also be showing you a few changes to some of my planty spaces, as well as some new plants. So we are in my bedroom, and I don't know if you all remember this plant shelf that I had outside on the patio when my plants were out there. Well, I decided to bring it inside to give these plants a more, I guess, aesthetically pleasing and neater look. So I feel like I have achieved that. Let me know what you think if you like the shelf in here. But anyway, these two are new plants, and I have never had a philodendron lemon lime, if you can believe it. I've had the neon pothos, but I have never had the lemon lime. So I decided to get one. And it's really cute. I love the color of the leaves. I actually feel like I like this one better than the neon pothos. So this is a new plant. You know, it's on the smaller side. Didn't pay that much for it. So that is new. And also a Micans. Yes, if you can believe it. I know y'all are like, Chula, where have you been? How have you not had a Micans before? I just have never had a Micans. Now, as I have said previously, I am not a trend follower sort of girl. If I like it, I get it. You know, that's just how it is. And I've always thought the Micans was cute, but it never really, you know, as we all say in the plant world, didn't really speak to me. But I said, well, I got the neon philodendron, or yeah, is that what it's called? Lemon lime philodendron. So I may as well try the Micans to see what all the hoo-ha is about. Because I hear so many people go on and on about the Micans and how beautiful it is. So I decided to try it out. And I have both of these plants in a self-watering setup, of course. And I guess it is kind of cute. It's a cute plant. I think I like it a little better when it fills out some. But yeah, so these two are the newest addition to the hanging plants that are in front of my window. Okay, also a new plant over here that you all have not seen. Now, if you saw my video, the plant tag video where I answered the question about what plants could I see myself getting into this year, and I said cacti and succulents. Well, I have been eyeing is it called skeleton bone cactus? Let me see what it's called. The dancing bones cactus. I have been eyeing it because I have seen it in some collections and I thought it was really cute. Of course, mine is a starter, but I look forward to growing it out because I really, really love how it looks when it grows out. I think it's just the cutest thing. It reminds me a lot of the, I guess, Ripsalis in some ways. But yes, this is a new addition to my ever-growing succulent and cacti collection. So let me know, y'all, if you have the dancing bone cactus. Okay, so that is new. Then I think I did a short on this one. If I did, I will link it. This is also a new addition to my collection because I was talking about how it's nice to have a um, options when it comes to newer plant people who are trying to get into plants. They hear all the time pothos, 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 and yes, they're beautiful. And actually, this is in the same family. This is an Epiprimnum amplissimum variegated. Okay, so it's in the same family as the regular pothos. But I picked this one up at Lowe's, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. It's been about a month ago. And I feel like this is just a very pretty plant. I feel like it's kind of underrated because I don't see it a whole lot. But look at that variegation and the pointiness of the leaves. You almost wouldn't think that it's in the Epiprimnum family, but it's really gorgeous. I really, really like this plant, and I think it looks perfect right where it's at, sitting at the end of my dresser. So, yeah, that is also a new addition. So, yeah, these are the changes to our bedroom space. It's kind of backlit. So, let me know what you all think. All right, so now I'm going to show you real quick another planty space, and then we'll go to the plant room. Okay, so here we are in the flex room, and I have two new additions to this room. I primarily have Hoya in here because the light is just so good in this room. But I have two new additions. So right up here is a Snow Queen pothos, just a regular Snow Queen. And then right here, I have put, this is not a new plant, but it's new to this room. This is the Syndapsis Mount Salac or Salac. And I don't know if I showed you that I put my Icecapades Begonia in here. It's kind of been a challenge. I've had to really tuck my plants up because Miss Fanta May has been going after my plants. So all my trailing plants, I have had to use clips and Velcro, plant Velcro, so that she cannot reach the hanging portions of the plants in here. So those are two changes to the flex space. So now we're gonna go to the plant room. I'll meet you over there. Okay, y'all, so we are in the plant room where the majority of the updates are. First update is the reflector, Dieffenbachia reflector. If you remember, I had this plant growing in water because I did chop it. Well, the root system was starting to grow. This is so heavy, I'm kind of scared to lift it. But I have recently put her in pon and leca. So you can clearly see those roots. She seems to be loving it so far. And I am very pleased with how it is looking. I went ahead and switched it over because I felt like the plant was starting to decline a little bit. To me, the leaves were starting to sag, even though it was in water. It just was not looking good to me. So I said, let me go ahead and put it in pond and leca, and it seems to really be liking that. Now, I have seen where some plant creators grow their Dieffenbachia in just water, but I can't remember seeing them grown in pond or leca. So if you have a Dieffenbachia that is growing in semi-hydro, like pond or leca, or a mixture of both, I would love to hear what you have to say. Do you feel like the plant is doing well in that setup? But I tell you, the colors on this plant, this leaf is finally opening up. It seems like it's been taking forever to open, but it has a sheen to it that it's like, it's really hard to pick up, but it's so beautiful, so gorgeous. So that is the first update. Now, in my last video, I know y'all remember the, what I call the humidity corner. I'm gonna have to think of a cuter name. But everything is doing okay over here. Except for the Shish mataglatus. Okay, so y'all know I could just not leave well enough alone, and the plant just seemed to just be going downhill ever so slowly. Since I got it in the mail, I can just tell that this plant is gonna be difficult for me, y'all. I can just tell it's gonna put up a struggle. It's gonna be on the struggle bus. But oh, well, wait a minute now. I didn't see those. It got 2 new leaves, y'all. Look at that. But the leaves to me look kind of floppy. Like, I feel like they should be like, I don't know, standing up a little bit more. But anyway, so let me tell you what I did. Let me go ahead and confess. She is in semi-hydro, no drainage. Y'all, let me tell you. It was so difficult because I told you in the last video that I was going to put this plant in a self-watering situation, because the Shish mataglatus Wallachia, as we all know, if you've heard or if you've had this plant, it is extremely thirsty. Okay, so I knew I was going to have to switch it. But then I got to thinking, because one of you lovely subscribers mentioned in the comments that you have yours in a semi-hydro setup and that the plant is doing excellent. So I said, you know what, let me try. But what I was not banking on was trying to clean it seems like it was just in coco coir, trying to clean that off of the roots, y'all. And as I was cleaning it off the roots, I was thinking, this is not good for the plant. It's just not good. I'm just tampering with the roots too much. And it had a very robust root system, but I ended up having to cut off a lot of the root system, a lot. So actually, this plant, for all that I did to it, is looking pretty good. You can already see some of the roots, but the roots were a lot longer than this. Like I said, I had to cut off a lot of them because I felt like they had been tampered with too much and that they were going to end up rotting anyway. So I can tell that the plant is shocking a little bit just because it's so floppy. But I just showed you you just saw my oh, what is it called? That was hanging up in front of my bedroom window that I told you shocked when I repotted it. OMG. I'll put it on the screen. It was the same way. It was floppy for weeks and it's just now recovering. The roots are, I mean, the leaves are nice and firm. So I'm just going to leave this one alone. I can already see though that it's thirsty because I've had to put more water in it. I had the water line like up to here, if you can see, and now it's already like down in here. So it's definitely a thirsty plant, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna leave it alone. I feel like it will recover. All right, Manjula pothos. That's the one I couldn't think of. Okay, so another update from the last video is I went ahead and repotted my Calathea pinstripe. Now, what's exceptional about this is the setup that I have it in. And this is a canister, a food canister that I ordered from Amazon. Yes. And I decided to put this plant to try it out in no drainage, but with potting mix. Now, I know y'all are like, Chula, why would you do that? Well, if you've been watching plant YouTube channels, you know that a lot of plant creators grow their plants in no drainage. Okay, usually you'll see it in like a semi-hydro setup where there's no drainage. But I have also seen creators that grow plants like Alocasia and Anthurium in a no drainage setup in potting mix. And what they have done is exactly what you see here. They have created a reservoir of sorts at the very bottom, which is what I have done. What you see at the bottom is a layer of leca, and then you see another layer of perlite. Okay, almost like a lasagna, a potting mix lasagna. And then at the top, I have a chunky mix. Now, if I had this plant in just a regular planter, I would not have used such a chunky mix. But because this is no drainage, I put the plants in a chunky mix. You can see the perlite in the bark. And then I created this reservoir at the bottom. So I don't know if you can see that water that has accumulated at the very bottom, but I will not be rewatering this plant until that water is gone from the reservoir at the bottom. So I am interested in seeing how this plant does in this particular setup. I will definitely keep you updated. Let me know if any of you have grown your plants in a setup like this. Because I know I used to be one of those people that I was like, no drainage? Are you crazy? Like, plants have to be in some type of drainage situation, but that is not true. That is not always true. Yes, the plant needs to have good drainage, but the setup that it's in doesn't necessarily have to have drainage holes, if that makes sense. Okay, I also repotted the Calathea. I can't think of nothing, y'all. Rattlesnake. I told you that I was going to put it in self-watering, and I have done that. So I potted that one up, and I also put the Calathea Helen in a self-watering setup as well, which I told you all that I would be doing. So that is the little update over here in the humidity corner. Another update is my Alocasia Anthoro Velvet is on its way out the door. Yes, it is. I had it in semi-hydro. It started to rot. But keep in mind that I transferred this one directly from potting mix to semi-hydro. So this particular Alocasia did not respond very well to that. It only had, I think, 4 leaves when I transferred it over. Then it lost 3 of the leaves, and as you can see, this one is not doing too great either. So the other day, I noticed a smell, and it was this plant. It was rotting. I mean, it was horrible. So I took it out the pond in leca, and this is in sphagnum moss. So I'm going to try to reroot it. I had to cut a good portion of the stem off, so I'm going to see what happens. Gonna see what happens. Also, my Alocasia venom. Now, as you can see, this leaf kind of looks like it's gonna start to die off because it only came with 2 leaves. This is a starter plant, and this one is definitely out of the door. But look, it has a new leaf. See? And it already has that gorgeous shape that the Alocasia venom is known for. You see that little tail at the bottom? So I can't wait until it opens up, y'all. But I just hope it will be more than a 2-leaf wonder or a 1-leaf wonder. I wonder if I should have left it in potting mix. But I'm going to leave it alone for right now, since it is putting out this new leaf. So I'll just continue to monitor it and make sure it still continues to grow before I decide if I want to keep it in semi-hydro. Another update is this variegated Billietier that just gave me this whole leaf that don't have variegation on it at all. This plant better not be reverting, okay? Because I'm going to be upset. Now, I will be chopping on this plant if it starts to revert because I don't want just a regular Billietier. I already have a Billietier and Adapapoense cross. So I don't want a regular Billietier. So this plant better get itself together. This is the first non-variegated leaf that it has given me. So we shall see. It already has another one cooking. So we'll see what it's looking like. So that's an update on that plant. And speaking of no drainage setups in potting mix, these are some more plants that I have done that with. A lot of my Alocasia. And let me explain why. Alocasia, as you know, they can be pretty difficult plants sometimes because they like to stay consistently moist. The majority of them do not like to dry out, and they will rebel if you let them dry out. So as you can see, mine are getting bigger. I just did a short on this Alocasia corazon. Look at that leaf, how huge it is. And this is the newest leaf. So if you have a large plant collection like myself, you can struggle with keeping up with the watering. But you don't want your plants to suffer in the process. So you have to sometimes think of ways to make things easier for yourself, but at the same time, enable your plant to continue to thrive. So the same thing that I did with my Calathea pinstripe, I have done with some of my Alocasia. Same thing. It has its reservoir at the bottom. the perlite, and then chunky mix. Now, some of you might be thinking, Chula, why didn't you just convert it totally to semi-hydro? Because I didn't want to. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't want to because the plant was doing just this, been doing just fine in potting mix. So I didn't feel the need to transfer it to semi-hydro. But I had to create a situation because even with the self-watering pots, I was still like every couple of days having to come back and fill the reservoir up. And I noticed that if I waited too late, that the plant would start to get yellowing tips and things like that. So that is why I decided to try this method with some of my alocasia. So Alocasia corazon is in potty mix with a reservoir at the bottom, no drainage, as well as my platinum, same setup. And y'all, these are just food containers, okay? These are just food containers, as you can see. And clearly, this one was just $1.25. It's like, Chula, you could at least took the sticker off. I gotta get better about doing stuff like that, y'all. But look, same thing, same situation. Reservoir at the bottom, chunky mix at the top. I will not be re-watering any of these until the reservoir at the bottom is empty, till I see no water at the bottom. So I did the same thing with my platinum. This is also a new plant that you all have not seen that I said I was going to show you that I got from Leaf Joy. I ordered this directly from the company. I have been wanting an Alocasia zebrina for the longest time. Now, I did have the Tigrina superba at one time, but that thing is no longer with us. She is long gone. But y'all look at this plant. Look at this plant. Okay, so I love the zebrina because I love the stems. Like, it's just like the stems, I got it going on. It's just on and popping with these stems. I mean, look, like, I just love the stems. That's why I love the plant so much. It's not even the leaves so much, although the leaves are beautiful too, but the stem, okay? So it has this leaf, 1, 2, 3. This new leaf is 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a great looking plant, y'all, from Leaf Joy. I'm happy with this plant. So I put it in the same setup, as you can see. And when I took it out to repot the plant, the roots look stellar. They look great. They were in really good condition. So I am looking forward to growing this beautiful specimen of a plant, the Alocasia zebrina. Okay, so let me think. What else? Oh, let me show you. Where is it at? Where did I put it? It was an Aglaonema that suffered from stem rot. Where did I put that plant? Y'all, that's a shame. I'll find it in a minute. But it was an Aglaonema that had stem rot. Where did I put the plant? Anyway, I had to change around some of my Hoya. I put my silver dollar Hoya down here with the Webergier. See that pink variegation? It was losing the pink variegation, and I did not want that to happen. So I put it here directly underneath this grow light. And I also put my Hoya Gunungading or Gunungading or whatever. I put this one under here too. As you can see, it's starting to sun stress. I know that's the appeal of this plant for many people. So I did move those down there so that they could get more light. I also have chopped up my begonia white ice. If you remember, I had this on a round trellis in my bedroom, but it was getting very unruly and I didn't like the way it was growing. So I chopped it up and I will be putting it into semi-hydro once it starts to root up. So that is a change. I also have my dragon breath heterophylla alocasia. I also put it in the no drainage setup as well with potting mix, and it's doing quite well. So I changed that one over too. Look how huge that leaf is, y'all. And I did the same thing with my pink Morocco alocasia. And as you can see, it has this new leaf and it has another one back there. And then this one is still opening up. So this alocasia is doing very well. I can tell it's gonna be a big one. This is gonna be a big alocasia. So my Thai constellation number 2 is opening up this new leaf. So I'm happy to see that. It's going to be a very large one. And I also have some new Hoya, but I don't know if I want to show y'all. I think you've seen one already. But I think I want to wait because I have a question about my Hoya before this video is over. Okay, so another new plant that I have is this begonia. I'll have to put the name on the screen because I cannot remember what it's called. But I got it from an Etsy seller, and I normally would not order begonia in wintertime, but if they're coming from Florida, or of course, if the seller's in Georgia, or even some parts of South Carolina, I will go ahead and order in the wintertime because Florida, for the most part, it doesn't really get really brutally cold. So I felt comfortable ordering this one and it came in great shape, as you can see. This is a Rex begonia. I'm trying my hand with Rex begonia, y'all. I struggle with Rex begonia. I think I do pretty well with the cane begonia, but I'm really trying to get better with the Rex begonia. So this one is in self-watering. I did repot it, but I did not disturb the roots at all. I just basically took it out, the pot that it was in, and set it down into this one. So I did not tamper with the roots, but it's gorgeous. Like, look at those colors. It's like raspberry, cream, and a green. It's just gorgeous. So far so good. Hopefully I will be able to keep it alive. And this other begonia, this other Rex begonia is doing pretty good. This is the Louisiana. Okay, y'all, so I did find the Aglaonema. I couldn't find it because it was in my bedroom. I forgot to show it to you, so I went and got it. But this is the Indian Queen. And y'all, when I was checking on my plants, I noticed that the plant was like leaning to the side. Like it had a severe gangster lean. Like it was just leaning. And I said, I looked closer, tried to straighten it out, and it just broke off. Okay, the stem was actually rotten. Okay, I'm going to insert some pictures so you can see. Then when I took it out of the potting mix, the roots were rotting. It had a lot of rotting roots. So I had to cut the plant back way back. Like this was one piece of the plant. This was actually an offshoot of the mother plant. So I was able to salvage this piece with the little aerial root. And then this is the other piece. See, I had to cut all the way up to there. Like I had to. I had no choice because the rest was rotten. But I think I got most of it off. Why is that looking kind of brown? Let me see if that feels mushy. No, it still feels firm, but you can see that node. As long as you have a node, it won't focus. I hope y'all can see that little white, little nubbin thing. And it has another one right there. So I feel like I will be able to reroot this plant. Another plant that happened to was the plant that I got from Green Spaces ID. It was an Aglaonema. Let me show you. That did the same thing. It had stem rot. And I had to cut it way back. I think this is called the Giovanna. And it's such a beautiful Aglaonema. Like, look at the leaves. But I had to cut it back because it has stem rot and it did grow some roots at the very bottom. So I went ahead and potted it up. It isn't self-watering. And so I'm going to see what happens. You know, hopefully the plant will be okay. But I think with some of these Aglaonema, I'm just going to have to stick to bottom watering. Yeah, because I'm not really for sure what causes stem rot. So that's an unfortunate update. But a more happier one is this Hoya rhyme. This Hoya rhyme splash that finally decided to do something after months and months of inactivity. All of this is new. All of this is new. I think I see like a tiny, tiny little leaf coming right there. So yes, she is growing out. I did have to treat her with sulfur, so maybe that did the trick. So we'll see. My Syndapsis Mayari or Mayuri has a new leaf that's variegated because the last one was not. So I was happy to see that this one is variegated. This next one, I don't want to mess with it, but it looks like it's going to be variegated too. And then my other African violet is flowering. Look how pretty. Blooms in the winter time. She's so pretty. Look at that. I got my African violets in a swap from Latina Plants, and they are doing awesome. Look at that. It has some more that are about to open up. So beautiful. Oh, look at that. And then the other one is just like, has blooms just like popping off. Like, look at that. Look at that. So pretty, so pretty. Can you imagine If you're feeling sad or feeling down and you come in your plant room and you see this, it's just so beautiful, the little blooms, and so delicate looking. I'll be smelling them, but they don't smell like nothing, unfortunately, but I don't care. I'll take it. I will take it. And I think the last update is this little this is another begonia. The iron cross begonia just gave me this new leaf. Look at that texture. It almost makes you want to scratch though. Look kind of but it's just a very textured begonia. This is a begonia mysoniana or iron cross. I converted this begonia to pond, and it looks like it has another little growth point there that's about to activate. So I'm glad to see that this plant is making a comeback. So y'all, for my next video, I did tell you that I want to do some collection videos. So I want to know, since I do have a couple of new Hoya, if you want me to do a Hoya collection video or Alocasia video. Well, I don't know. I kind of showed y'all a lot of my Alocasia just now, actually. But let me know which collection you all want to see next. Now, Aglaonema, I'm not going to do another Aglaonema collection video till later on in the year, just because that is the plant that, the plant genus that I have done collection videos on the most. So I won't do another one. And plus, I don't have any new ones. So I won't show that till later on in the year. So I have Monstera, I have Alocasia, Syngonium, Hoya. I can do another Hoya video. Philodendron, I have quite a few new Philodendron. So let me know down in the comments. Let me know what y'all want to see. Like, what is the next collection video that y'all would like to see me do? Okay? All right, y'all. That is all for the updates. I hope you enjoyed seeing the new things that Chula has going on in her collection. I hope you all are doing fabulous. Thank you for watching as always. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Try to stay healthy because, you know, health is so important. If you don't have your health, it's like, what do you have? And not just physical health, but you want to take care of your mental health, but most importantly, your spiritual health. Okay, y'all? All right, so remember, I'm on TikTok and Instagram. You can find the links in my bio. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what type of video, what type of collection video you would like to see next. All right? Okay, y'all. So until the next time, hooked on houseplants, y'all. Bye.